Hey there, what's up everybody, Indro here, and today I'm not going to teach you anything, but we'll have fun creating this world turtle photo manipulation. Well, I created this photo manipulation almost 4 years back in 2016, and today looking at it in 2020, I can see so many errors. Like, I totally don't like the color grading that I used. Even the light source is coming from the left, and I did some mistakes with the islands. I can already see that there are some island pieces I added which are facing the opposite direction from the direction of the light. I don't like the overall sharpening of the image and so much more. And it just happened to be that I found my old PSD and the stock images. I frankly don't remember from where I downloaded all the stock images, but I thought, why not, let's give it a try now in 2020 after 4 years. And I hopefully believe I will be able to create something different from what I did back then. So I'll fast forward things for you, but I will do a narration over the main steps that I do to create this photo manipulation. I hope you will like this one. Stay along with me and enjoy. So first things first, I took this image of the turtle and separated it out from the backdrop of the beach. I started off with the quick selection tool and then proceeded to the select and mask to refine things up, and then I manually painted in the mask to clean things up and add the final touch. Then I tried to create the markings for the turtle's limbs that will be under the water. With that done, I placed the image of the sea and the ocean that I'll be using, and then I started adding the islands. These are cropped from an image of an island, and I'm placing different parts of the island and masking of the sky and then aligning it according to the direction of the light that is coming from the left. Next, what I'm doing here is I took a sample image of the main island, and with clone stamp tool I'm trying to recreate the foliage, the trees and the grass on the turtle's back. So with this way I can add real variations manually. Then I took another image of an island which has some grass and trees on it, and I tried to paint them on manually with clone stamp tool. But you can have a look that the green in this image is different from the one that I was using earlier, so I'll be using color correction and try to match them up at the end. And also in this image I also added some grass or trees on the turtle's limbs and head and neck. I thought it would be cool because this is a very ancient turtle, so it would be really nice to have those effects. Next, I tried adding the waves. I isolated the white in the waves by using blend if, and then with a little bit of color correction to match the blue of the ocean, I placed the rough sample towards the turtle's limb to get an approximate idea of the size of the wave that I should be going for. Next, I created some dummy samples, and from there I'm again using the clone stamp tool to create the shape of the waves manually. By this way I have a lot more manual control and I can place them precisely where I want them to be. With that done, I'm again trying to do some color correction, and then I'm into the ocean, and with the liquify tool I'm trying to warp the sea based on the position of the turtle. Next, I'm going to fine-tune the edges of the grass and foliage on the turtle's back. And then I'm using an exposure layer to add the shadows. I created a dark exposure layer and created a black layer mask and started painting with white on the layer mask to show the shadow region. Now is the fun part. I'm painting the shadow on the turtle and it's really fun to do. I'm trying to gauge the direction of the light and where the shadow will be based on the turtle's shape, the turtle's mouth and the shape of the shell, and I'm trying to visualize the shadow and paint them manually. And then I'm doing a color cast and color correction on the ocean and the waves to take down the blues a bit and increase some yellow. And then with a custom brush I'm trying to do the waterfall from the turtle's shell. I'm first roughly drawing the waterfall, and then I'll smoothen and soften the brush and then try to add a kind of mist over these waterfalls to give an effect that the waterfall is dispersing in the wind. I'm again going back and forth with the waves. I'm trying to add a color cast to match it with the ocean. I really don't like how it's ending up, so I'm going back and forth. And now I'm again into the waterfall and trying to add that mist, soft kind of blurred look that I was telling you earlier. I'm not trying to blur out the edge of these waves so that we do not end up with harsh edges. I'm also smoothing out the waterfall so that the areas don't look as crisp and sharp it was looking previously. Next, I started adding the seagulls. I had only 2 stock images of the seagulls, so I placed them and created variations by altering size and angle of rotation. First, I grouped my initial cluster and then I duplicated the group and again created variation by altering the size. And I started placing those seagulls over different areas on the island. And I reduced the size of the seagulls that are at the very top because they are at the furthest distance from the viewer. Next, with a minor bit of color adjustment, I am off to add the highlights on the turtle. So it's again a fun part. I added a solid color fill layer and changed its blending mode to linear dodge, and then added a black mask and then started painting with white to brighten up areas. So the light is coming from the left, so we're definitely highlighting the left edge of our subject. I'm painting over the shell, the left edge of the limb, the island region, and also adding some touches on the face of the turtle and in the neck. I'm also trying to brighten up the areas of the trees and the foliage which I think should get the sunlight. Next, I added a blue color cast because on the right hand side we have a bluish color cast, and then painted some areas on the right to have that blue hue. Then with some more color adjustments, some gradient map and hue saturation adjustment and camera raw filter adjustments, I tend to bring up that soft yellowish look and tone down the blues. Now I'm adding the shadow of the turtle that is falling on the ocean. And then I'm again off to darken up some areas that I feel I have missed out earlier. Now with the shadow done and when I'm happy with it, I move to the next part, and that is added to color lookup tables. I added fall colors and candlelight, and I think they really bring up the mood of this image. Next, with some curves adjustment and some gradient map, I changed the blending mode to soft light of the gradient map, and I finished things up by adding some dodge and burn. I created an empty layer and filled it with 50% gray and then painted on it with dodge tool to highlight parts of the overall composition, and also paint with burn tool to darken up areas of the overall composition. Next, I color corrected those areas of the trees that were not matching up with our first sample of the trees from the island that we used. And then in this 2020 edit, I added some new stuffs. I added this lens flare because I thought adding a lens flare is really cool and it gives the sense of awe and makes the turtle look magnificent. Next, again, I didn't like the cloud that much because it was really boring, so I changed it with another cloud to add some drama, and then I changed the color tone of the cloud to match it with our composition. The cloud was really orange in color, so I dropped the orange color to shades of yellow with hue saturation adjustment and with camera raw filter, and I also brought up the blues to match it with our overall composition. And then I added some orange tone on the right hand side of the ocean to gain some reflection of the sky onto the ocean. And so here we are with the re-edit of the wall turtle after almost 4 years. Let me know what you think of this re-edit. Feel free to let me know if I really messed it up again, this time after 4 years. But if you like this composition and if you like my edit, do let me know, and let me know if you want to see more photo manipulations like this. Also let me know if you want to slow down the pace so that you can see needles each and every step that I am doing. And if this video helped you in any way, please like the video and subscribe to support my channel. I'll see you in the next one, and till then, stay creative.